If you own a property and have a second mortgage on it, and if you want to keep this property and get rid of the second loan, attorney Shaw Parali can help. Call 510-742-5887. Due to the uncertain economy, many people have settled their debts for a fraction of its value. It's recommended to use an experienced lawyer to deal with it. Shaw Parali is an experienced debt settlement attorney and has handled hundreds of such cases successfully. There are no upfront fees for debt settlement. Only when you win, you pay. Call Shaw Parali, attorney at law, at 510-742-5887 or visit yourdebtsettlementattorney.com for a free assessment. This is just an advertisement. No attorney-client relationship is established by this ad. The law does not guarantee success. Call 510-742-5887.
And now, from the San Francisco Bay Area studios, KLOK proudly presents to you the prominent attorney Shaw Parali for the Shaw Parali Law Show, coming at you with over 50,000 watts of power. The Shaw Parali Law Show, where all your views matter.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum, Sistika. Namaskar to all the listeners. This is attorney Shaw Parali, and we're live today on January 18th, 2018. Basically now our second show, because we missed one show last week. It was a recorded show, but hopefully our shows will be live on Thursdays as usual. And we will be here from 10 to 11 with Franco. Thank you, Franco, for being on the board with us today, and I hope you had a great New Year. Even we spoke after that, but still it's been a continuing New Year, so I wish all of you again Happy New Year. So now let us start, of course, directly with immigration. And before I start, anything I'm telling you today is my opinion. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. And you can call our office if you have any questions, 510-742-5887, or if you want to check our attorneyonair.com, attorneyonair.com. Some news before I start. Of course, we've been talking about that, but last week, since I was not here, I didn't have a chance to kind of tell you live what's happening on the H-1B extension. It seems like the USCIS has denied the fact on the rumor that basically they were trying to cut off the 3-year extension. It seems the truth is that from what we are getting is mostly because there was so much pressure from companies that they ultimately back off on that. Whatever is the truth, the good news is that hopefully we can continue having extension beyond 6 years, and people will be able to stay in this country, not having to leave quickly, etc. So that's one good news that it seems now it is confirmed. However, I'm going to speak a little bit about what I call the back door, how they're getting things done to get people denials. But let us enjoy a little bit that good news that we have not got many good news in the past few months. So that's one good thing. As for the H4 EAD, there's a chance that you're going to see the H4 EAD some stuff coming in a couple of weeks, and by first week of February we will know where they stand on the H4 EAD and what they're going to do. And just to let people know, we are going to open the line. If you have any questions on immigration, whether it's a family petition, it's an employment-based, H-1B, labor certification, you name it, give us a call at 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. And again, this is Attorney Shaw Parali, and we're live today, January 18th, 2018. I was talking, of course, about the H1. Now let us go into the H4 EAD. A lot of people are questioning that, but I think there's a movement now. People are fighting just like we fought. just like we fought for getting it done in the past, now the fight continues, goes on. We should fight also to keep it. And I think people should not just give up on it. Sometimes we tend to kind of say, okay, if it goes, it goes, but that's not right. And I think we are getting the backing of many organizations who are willing to kind of help in keeping the H4EAD. So people should really kind of not give up and fight for it, because we cannot just let this thing go, because this created so much. The fact that the people on H4 couldn't work created so much problems in the families, in the income, etc., that it will be fundamentally unfair to take it away now. Not only that, it's also, if you look at other visas, employment-based visas, most of the time the spouses are good to go. So I highly recommend that people just don't give up on it and try to fight it and make it happen. So that's the second thing we're talking about. But there's also a third thing. Of course, the visa bulletin came out, a little movement, and it seems now we have reached December when it comes to 2008. So probably the next visa bulletin will bring us to 2009, and we're hoping on that. So what I want to tell people is just hang in there. Don't just give up on things. Try to fight. And like I was mentioning before, there are many ways to fight. Although this administration tend to be very anti-immigration, the law is still there. Many of the things they have tried to pass have been blocked by the courts, and we should be happy with the system. This is a very good system we have in the U.S., and we should be able to kind of use the law in our favor to protect as many people as possible. But people have to really kind of fight for it. They cannot just wait for it to happen or others to fight for it. And that's one thing I wanted to mention. A lot of time I mentioned that in America, one of the rules of thumb is basically that you got to fight for your rights. Even immigration is not a right, it's a privilege, but when it comes to certain things, it's almost a right. So you should stand up. You just don't give up and say, okay, I'm giving up, I'm trying to find another way. Well, there are ways to protect yourself, but there are also ways to fight for cases. And that's what we've been doing for years. No matter which administration is there, the law is still the law. There might be changes in the law. They might make it more difficult, which is definitely the case. But ultimately, the law, if you fight it properly, you should be able to make things make a difference. And oftentimes, if you look at the history of America, from the lady who sat in the bus, who refused to sit in the back, Rosa Parks, and the civil rights movement, a small thing can really make a big difference. And that's what happened to H4EAD. A small movement. I still remember Rashi was heading that, and she's still heading the movement. And that ended up by changing the entire system and changing a law which was on the books for more than 50 years, by the way. So look at things from this perspective and don't just give up. Although things are going a lot tougher now than it was years ago. But having said that, the law is still the law, the Constitution is still the Constitution, and as much as we can use them, we should use them. So ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about H-1B first. The good news is that, of course, USCIS has denied that they will block people from getting their 3 years extension beyond 6 years. And number two, we're talking about the H4EAD. And again, for those who are calling, sometimes people call at the same time and we'll lose the call. So please make sure you call again. The number to the studio is 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565, and Franco will be nice. He's going to take your call and then pass it to the air. And just to let people know, sometimes we get a lot of calls for people who want to specifically talk about their cases, but when you call the radio, oftentimes it's not a good idea to sometimes mention your name. Especially, I would recommend not mentioning your name. Just go straight to the case and explain your case, and that will make things easier and more private for everybody. So having said that, now we are going to go now, and we were talking about the visa bulletin. The visa bulletin is moving. It's not moving at a faster pace. But the good news is that it's not going backward. I think we have one caller, Franco. Let me start taking some callers. This is Shapra. You're live in here.
Hey, I have a quick question on H4EAD. Um, what about the existing validity? Is it going to be there, or is it going to be stopped? Or again, if we apply the extension now, what are the chances to get the extension for the H4EAD?
Well, that's an excellent question. We can only guess, right, what is going to happen.
Yep.
What I think personally will happen, a bit like what's happening for DACA. And then, now another thing, DACA is back on track because of lawsuits, right? So that's something that gives us courage to continue the fight. Now, let's say for people, what I think will happen if they cancel it, for people who have already obtained it, let's say, for example, you got your H4EAD till 2019, you should be able to keep it, right? And if you are eligible to function before that, bring it to 2020, it's all for the better for you. But ultimately, what I think is that for people who already have it or who have already applied for it, by the time they try to change the law, they will be eligible to keep what they have. But they might not be able to renew it down the road because they will get it only that one time and it will be the last time. So that's how probably it's going to work if they take it away. Now, the question is, can they block it immediately? They might, but it will create extreme hardship, and I'm pretty sure if anybody file a lawsuit, they might be able to unclog it. So I doubt he will be able to take for those who already have it for a certain number of years, but you definitely get it. Okay?
Unfortunately, my wife is having only next 6 months. So what is the minimum time within we can apply for the extension?
120 days, and 120 days unless you are doing a transfer or an extension or something, then you might be able to attach first to that. But you should be fine. So 120 days, you should be in the pipeline in the next 1 month or so. So just make sure you count the days exactly. Okay. Good luck to you.
Okay.
And if you need help on the H4EAD, anybody who needs help to do the H4EAD, please give us a call, 510-742-5887. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shabare. You'll have it here.
Hi, Shab. Good morning. Thank you for your wonderful show. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for listening.
Sure. So I have got a question, Shah. So this is regarding my H1 transfer. So I had my H1 with my previous employer till September 2020. And I have applied for the transfer, and the transfer is currently pending, and my previous employer has revoked the H1.
Okay.
So if this current transfer goes fine, I have no issues at all. But what if it gets denied or rejected, and what are the options that I have, Shah? Should I go back to my country, or can I?
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you did the transfer, were you still working there, or you were in a grace period? You got terminated, and you were in a grace period.
No, I was working, and once my transfer got initiated, based on the receipt, I moved to the new organization.
Okay, so you're technically not in the grace period. So what happens next? How many years you use your H1B, by the way?
Actually, I was on a L1 and I converted that into H1. So basically, I was on L1 for 2.5 years, and this October I got my H1.
Okay, you just got it this October. So if you add that, you're almost 2 years and around 8-9 months, right? So approximately. Correct. So you still have 3 years and so. So that's the one good thing. So we don't have to worry about I-140. So what happens is that if your case gets denied, what you do, you just go ahead and you can file it with another company. Let's call it Company B. The only problem you will not get the I-94. You will have to go and get a stamp and come back at the airport. You'll get your I-94. So that's the only difference. But you can still kind of move the case to another company. It's not called a transfer, by the way. It's called a new employment, cap exempt, and and then consular processing. The case will go to the U.S. consulate in India or or any other country where you're going to get the stamp. Once you get the stamp, you come back, you get your I-94, you resume your H-1B.
Oh, okay. And can I again file for, from the same company through which it got rejected?
Yes, of course. The only difference is it will be the same thing, unless you can show that you were terminated, so you were in your grace period. But even if you were terminated, your grace period is gone now. Grace period is only for 60 days. So you left the company in October, you said, right? When did you leave?
Correct. I left it in November 27th.
November 27th. So December 27th, January 27th. Okay, so you can make an argument can be made that basically you were terminated when the letter was sent to the USCIS by your company A, which is your original company. As such, you should be granted a 60 days grace period. And if that's a claim you can make, then you don't have to leave the country. Then it becomes like a transfer. You can just refile it as long as you file it within 60 days from November, which makes it around January 25th. So that's how. What I would recommend, if in case you get a denial, give me a call at the office. I can discuss in more details with you, because right now I have many callers, so it will be hard to go into more details. But give me a call at 510-742-5887 if in case you get denied. If it gets approved, perfect, you should be fine. Okay?
Okay, sure. Great. Thanks a lot.
Good luck to you. You're welcome. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shapra. You're 11, yeah?
Hi, Shah. This is Kumar. I have a question related to firm, and actually currently I'm working with an consulting company, and I got a full-time actually. So I'm already holding the 140 with my current company, and with a full-time company, like the position which they are offering is quite different from what I have currently. My position is program analyst actually, and they are offering something like different position.
What do you mean different position? What position?
It's like a software associate kind.
Well, I think they are putting that because program analysis is becoming difficult to get the H-1B approved. That's why probably they're not putting you as program analyst, because right now there's a memo that came in April, I think, March or April if I'm not mistaken, where they basically kind of cut off everybody who is in programming, programmer analysis and things like that. So unless you go on level 4, level 3 or level 4 in the ONET book. But that's why maybe they're shifting you. It's not a problem to shift, by the way. You're still CAP exempt because you are in IT and it's a technical position. It would have become a problem, for example, let's say you're IT and then you have a law degree and then they're shifting you to law. Even that's possible, but they can shift you to another position as long as it's done properly and it's kind of in your field and you're qualified for it.
Okay. Currently, the position what I got is from one of the biggest company in, it's a multi-billion-dollar company actually. So, will they be still like, they are doing it in EB3 and currently I'm on EB2 actually, and they said like they'll port it to EB3 and I'm okay with that in fact. And the position I'm worried, like currently I'm holding some position as a program analyst, and the position what they're offering is like a software associate, which is like a manufacturing developer kind of position in fact.
Well, it's H-1B, you're not going to have an issue. As for the green card, since you won't use that one, you will be using, because you have an I-140 with company A and you move to company B, they will have to redo your labor and your I-140, and that you can still get the priority date no matter what job position they put you on. As for the H-1B, as long as you qualify for it and you have the degree and it's an IT position, you should be still CAP exempt, even though it's a different position. So you should be fine when it comes to both of the issues. You don't have to worry about, okay, I don't have this one, last time it was like that, how come it's not like that? That doesn't work this way. You are CAP exempt and you are in a technical position and you're moving to another technical position, no problem. As for the green card, they have to still start the labor again. So There's not much of a choice. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. Let me take another call. This is Shapira. You're live in here.
Hello. Thanks for taking my
Hello.
call, Shapira. This is Vijay here. So I have two questions. One is my visa is expiring in August 15th.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a plan on because they suggest to apply before 6 months, right? So I have a plan to travel on end of April. So how soon we should be applying the visa? That is it good to travel having only 3 months of visa stamp? So that is my first question.
Let me answer it. Then we'll move to the second one.
Sure.
Number one, how long it will take to apply? You can apply 6 months in advance, and you can apply. You have an H1B, right? H1 or L1? Which one you said you have?
Yes. H1 with 140 approved.
Okay. So you can just file under premium within 1 month, 3 weeks. You should get an approval. The second part of the question you asked, if you can go like that to get your stamping, come back, you have only 3-4 months left. It is not recommended. There's a big chance they won't give you the visa with only 3-4 months. They usually want to see 6 months before they give you the stamp. So the best advice I can give you, or not an advice, but what I can kind of recommend is to file it under premium, the extension, get it approved, then you go outside to get your stamping.
No, but I have a stamping till August. I have my visa already till August.
Oh, okay. You have the stamping on your passport till August, not the 797, right? Well, your 797
no,
goes to till what term?
Same as visa. Both are ending in the August.
Okay, when are you planning to leave?
Probably end of April and come back in mid.
Okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to file your extension and the 797, and then you're just going to come back before August. It's fine. Because the stamp on the passport, even if it's valid for 1 day, it's still okay. But the 797, it is recommended to have it at least 6 months before you enter. So you just do your 797 extension, basically, to the DHS, get it approved, and then you take that, you leave the country, you come back. At the airport, they'll give you a 994, which goes up to the date of the 797. That's it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
Fine. Thanks.
Yeah, then you don't have to go for stamping. Yeah, go ahead.
So my second question is, so we are talking about this level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, right? Mm-hmm. So we are having issues for level 1 and level 2, and I have seen some of my friends got denial for level 1 and level 2.
Yes.
So is this level 1 and level 2 is applicable for the programmer level or a project management level? Because I'm in a project management level 2.
It applies for everything right now. They started with the programmer. They're moving to other. But having said that, if the position is not really program analyst, and you can explain that this is a salary in the industry, etc., and you're not underpaying just H1Bs, you should be fine. You should get an approval, because just because people are getting, and it's true, a lot of people are getting denial, we are still getting approvals too, but we are getting difficulties too. But we have not so far got denials as far as I know from the office, but I've seen many denials because people call me for consultations. So at the end of the day, there is a problem right now with the level 1. But if you're on level 2 and you are not a programmer, analyst and things like that, your chances are pretty good. It all depends on the salary also, how much they're paying you. And that's what they're using as guidelines to kind of deny people. So it's difficult to tell. It's a case by case. But just because you have level 1 or level 2, it's not an automatic denial. But the chances of denial is almost 70%. When you're on level 1, level 2, and programmer analyst. But in your case, you are not that. You're different, and you're level 2, you're in a project, so you should be fine.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good luck to you. Or, again, we never know with what's happening with this administration, but so far, we have kind of a trend what is getting approval now. Okay? Good luck to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I have more callers, but feel free to call. The number to the studio today is 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. and we are live at the Daisy 1170 AM studio, and we have Franco on the board. I just wanted to say thank you to Franco, and I wanted to send a special thanks and Happy New Year to the entire team of KLOK. I didn't have a chance to see them during the New Year. I got busy a little bit, and I apologize for that. But this radio has been with us for years, since pretty much it opened almost. So it's now in the Chaparral Law Group blood, as I say. So I really appreciate all their help and their support over the years, and especially we had Brad, and now we have Gwen and Franco and the entire team. So special thanks to all of you. Let me take another caller, Franco, and then we'll move on to the next topic. This is Chaparral. You're live on here.
Yeah, hello. My name is Girish, and I'm on CEAD. Okay.
Okay.
I have applied for the EAD approval, and I have not received the approval yet. But I did get a receipt notice from them. My EAD is set to expire on 2nd of February. What are my options right now? Like,
okay.
Kind of
when you file for the EAD, you got the receipt. Does it say that your employment authorization is extended for 180 days?
No. I got that I-797 notice, 797C, stating that we received your application and so on. But I have not received the renewal card yet, the EAD renewal card yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because when you applied, you got a receipt, right? That's 797C, right? You got that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. On that receipt, it usually says you are eligible to continue working for 180 days while your case is pending. Does it say that?
It does say at the bottom, there are 4 or 5 conditions sitting there saying that if you are eligible in this category, my category is C09. So I'm not sure if it is. That's why I want to kind of check.
Yeah, it is. Is it a GC? Is it an employment GC? It's an employment GC, right?
Yes, it's an employment GC. That's right.
Yeah, usually it should fall into that. So
yeah,
technically, go ahead.
Yeah, I also called up USCIS. I also logged into the USCIS website, and I have raised a request, and I did receive a response from them stating that your request has been received. Somebody will respond to you before probably 29th of January. So I'm hoping that I don't need to call them, because calling them or raising a request online is supposed to be safe.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You don't call them right now. They're just going to get irritated for no reason. So you don't need to do that. All you have to do is just go ahead and wait right now. In the meantime, you should be able to continue working, because you have a receipt of it was filed. It's a bona fide receipt. It was filed prior to the expiry of the EAD, so you should be fine. Okay?
Oh, okay. So,
okay.
Yeah, and actually
so you can continue working until you get the other one.
Excellent. And then I also have a advanced parole, due to which I have to travel to India, but I can travel to India on advanced parole, which is valid until the end of this year, right?
Yes. As long as your advanced parole is here, you can travel. Or if you have an H-1B, you can travel on H-1B also.
No, my H-1B is, I have relinquished the H-1B because I moved on EAD, so I have kind of gotten rid of H-1B. I'm no more on H-1B status.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, that's fine. There's no need for H-1B. So you're fine. Okay, you can travel. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good luck to you. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Chaparral. You're live on air.
Hi, Shad. Thank you for taking my call. My name is Imran. I have a question regarding my wife's I-94. She has a valid visa until October 2019, but her passport was expiring in April this year, so she got the I-94 only until April. But now she has a new passport. I was going to apply for the extension of stay for her because she has a valid visa until 2019 with the new passport. And I'm going to file this 539A, but I was confused online when I was checking. Where do I send this document? There are multiple offices, right? So which exactly is the location that I will be sending?
What are you sending? You're sending the I-94 you're saying the H4?
Yeah.
H4 extension, right? I don't have the address at the top of my head because usually my team does all the address. So I have to double check. Give me a call at the office and I can give you the address where you send it. But there are two addresses usually. There's one where if you're filing for just the H4, it's one address. But another one where if you're filing with H4 with the H4 EAD, I just don't have it at the top of my head. So give me a call at the office because, like I said, it's usually my paralegal team that handles those issues. Okay. So I don't really remember this address, but I'll be glad to tell you. Just call the office and ask them and let them know that you spoke to me on the radio and you just need that address 510-742-5887. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you. Good luck. So, Franco, I don't know if I have more caller. This is a turn. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about issues with H1B, H4 EAD, but feel free to call if you have other questions related to immigration when it comes to, for example, if you have any issues with family-based petitions, like you want to petition for your parents, for your spouse, or ultimately you fear to go back to your home country, you want to file an asylum, or ultimately if you have been victim of a crime, you can also have a U visa. So at the end of the day, you can always kind of find a second opinion. By the way, you might want a second opinion in your case, and you can call us 510-742-5887. The number to the studio today is 408-912-5565, and I have Frank on the board with me. And just to let people know, I wanted to. So many things happened, and one of them is I didn't have a chance to mention that because last week I was not live. Our heart goes to the people of California for the mudslide. It's kind of a late shout out, but I wanted to mention that because I know how it feels when it comes to mudslide. So I wanted to just tell our heart goes to them, and hopefully we will be having climate change is causing a big problem. And I'm hopefully I will do a show where climate change is going to affect immigration. I wrote an article about this I think 4 or 5 years ago, but now it is happening, and get ready for that. Climate change will cause problems on the global migration. But I just wanted to say that that it's sad what happened in California. So for our heart goes to all the people who suffered there. So let me take another caller, Franco, and then we will talk more about another area of law, which is debt settlement. This is Shapra. You're live in here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
It's a radio program in the Sharp Rally, no?
Yes. You're live on air, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Khan, and I just had a question for my auntie. She had a green card with her, and now that the green card is expired and the daughter has already sent for renewal, and when they called, they said that we are processing the 2016 papers, and this is going to take time. So is there a chance for her to get a temporary travel document or something?
Yes. What she needs to do, you take the receipt of the case, you make an appointment. Right. You go on the USCIS website, uscis.gov. You make an appointment, which is called, it's an appointment. It used to be called InfoPass or something. Now it's just called an appointment. And then you go there, you show the receipt, and you show your travel ticket if she has to travel. And you ask the officer there if you can please put a stamp, I-551 stamp on her passport. And they usually will give that stamp, and that stamp will allow her to travel, okay, until her green card comes. And okay.
So there's a possibility that this thing happens. So thank you so much. I'm clear now. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. It does happen. Hopefully, if there's any problem, call us 510-742-5887. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shapira. You're live in here.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hi, yes. I do have a quick question. Like, if someone has approved I-140, can they leave their job, go out of country, and then come back when the dates are current?
Yes, A lot of people actually do that because the waiting time is so long. Yes, the only glitch and catch in this is when it's time to file it, and the immigration sees that you have not worked for that company for a while, they might call you for an interview. Anyway, they're calling for interviews now, and they might ask why, if you wanted so much this person to work for this company, why did you not work when you had a chance to work, etc. But having said that, a lot of people, what they do, they will go work for the abroad for a branch of the same company, and that makes it easier. But the truth, bottom line, you don't give up on that I-140 when you leave the country, and you also don't lose it. So even you stay in India, for example, 2-3 years until the dates become current, you can still come back and process the case. But there's also another catch, because if you lose your H-1B or something, when the dates become current, you might not be able to come here to process the case with adjustment of status. Then you might have to process the case with the National Visa Center, which takes a lot of time, and you might get retrogressed. So that's a strategic move. But to answer your question, can you stay? The answer is yes. But just be careful how you do it, okay?
But when you are not working, you don't have to maintain your H-1B visa.
No.
You have approved I-140. Are they two different things?
Yes. The H-1B is one thing. The I-140 is another. The I-140 is for future employment. The H-1B is for present employment. So you don't even have to be an H-1B to have an I-140. In fact, for many of my clients, I get them straight green card. I don't even go to H-1B because they are from countries which doesn't have a waiting time. So as long as your company doesn't revoke your I-140, you can still use that I-140.
Okay? All right. Okay. That was my question. Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. And if you have any issues or you want to call us, give us a 510-742-5887. Just to let people know, anything I'm telling you today is my opinion. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shapra. You're live on air. Hello.
Hi, Shah.
Hi.
Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
This is regarding my I-485 RFE. So I became current this month in the month of January, and then I got RFE for both medicals and supplement J. So medicals, I mean, in the previous time, whatever I did, the medicals they were expired, and then so I just made it done. For supplement J, when I was reading through the articles, and it was mentioned that because I haven't changed my employer since I started my GC process, right? So is it common to get even for my case too, even though I didn't change the employer?
This is a very, very good question, actually. I was thinking about talking about that, but I forgot last time. Yes, the answer is yes. It's becoming a common thing. Because back in the days before Supplement J, they will send you the same letter and they will ask you to get a letter of employment. So that Supplement J becomes that letter of employment. So to answer your question, yes, it is normal. In fact, you have to fill it and submit it. So just make sure you just fill the same information. Yes, I'm working for company XYZ, and that's it, etc., and from so and so years, and you just submit it. When you get this kind of RFE, by the way, that means your green card is ready almost. So go ahead and fill that, and hopefully, once you've submitted, you should get your green card within a couple of weeks or within one or 2 months. Okay.
Okay. So my attorney, actually, it's been almost 10 days. My attorney is still preparing Supplement J form. So probably once they file it.
Okay. It's probably busy because Supplement J doesn't take that long to fill. It's not that complicated. But anyway, maybe he's not familiar with it or something. But just go ahead and fill it as soon as possible because you don't want to miss on that, okay?
Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay then. Good luck to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I take more callers, I wanted now to shift gear and talk a little bit about debt settlement. Debt settlement is a situation where basically we deal with getting rid of your debts without having to file bankruptcy. And the way it usually works is simple. You owe some money to the bank or to someone, and you're facing some difficulties.
And what we do, we get in the picture, we negotiate your debts and get you out of the debts, and you don't have to file bankruptcy. For example, you have credit card debts, you have debts like a lawsuit, and they won against you, etc. We can negotiate this. This is what we do is not debt consolidation, by the way. Debt consolidation is totally different. What we do here is negotiation. It's lawyers to lawyers, credit companies to lawyers, or collection agencies to lawyers. We negotiate, and we have been very, very successful. We've been doing this now for more than 8 years as a separate department with immigration, and ultimately we have gotten some very, very good results. And you can check the blog yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, and you will get an idea what we do on this with debt settlement. And we can even do that for second mortgages if the second mortgage is underwater usually. So all these things we can help you with. Feel free to call our office 510-742-5887. And the way it works for debt settlement, only for debt settlement, it works on a contingency basis. So when we win, then you pay us our cut, and then we take it from there. So if you need any help, please feel free to reach out to our law firm, 510-742-5887. Let me take another caller, Franco. This is Shapira. You're live in air.
Hi, Shah. I have a question on the H4 EAD renewal.
Yes, go ahead.
My wife had the H4 EAD and it expired last April, and she stopped working before that. But now she is planning to work again, and we want to renew the H4 EAD. Is it a like a regular process? Do I need to apply the H4 EAD new, or is there a renewal process?
It's pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a renewal, but you just tick the box of. I think there's a box in there for renew, but it's the same thing. It's just like applying for new one. So you still have to put all the same documents that you have to put in the regular case that you submitted for original case. So there's nothing special you have to do except submit the same package, but it will be an extension. Okay.
So before the H4 EAD expired sometime in April, and we did not realize that it expired. But she was working for a couple of months after that too. So will it create an issue?
How many weeks she worked like that?
6 weeks. 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Yeah, it should be okay, but don't do that again, because under I-need 245K they kind of forgive you, but that forgiveness is usually protects you for the green card, which becomes the biggest problem. But it's not a big problem, so you don't have to worry, because you have not passed really the 180 days kind of. So you should be fine. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Just go ahead, and if you need help, you're not feeling okay to file it, feel free to reach out. Just give us a call at 510-742-5887. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I have more callers now, Franco. I don't know how much time I'm left, but I think I have like a couple of more minutes, and probably Amit will join us. I just wanted to recap today what we talked about, and the things we talked about was something which a lot of people have been worried about. Is the H-1B extension based on the 3 years. USCIS have kind of denied the quote-unquote rumor that they will be trying to cut off AC-21 extension beyond 6 years on a 3-year level for H-1B based on an approved I-140. And now, second, they also kind of reiterated that they will pretty much go after the H-4. So that's what I was talking about, and also we talk about the visa built-in, which is moving slowly, but surely. That's one good news. It's not retrogressing, and let's pray it doesn't. So people who are eligible to file for the I-45 or have any issues with their adjustment of status, feel free to call our office 510-742-5887. Now, before I move on, I wanted to talk a little bit. I wanted to congratulate the team for some very, very difficult win, especially on EB-1A, national interest waivers, and L-1A. So I wanted to basically kind of congratulate my team again on this. And also another thing that we are seeing, sadly, they're saying there is an article, and we don't know now. There's so many articles which is real or fake news, that there will be some crackdown happening on this weekend by the ICE, which is Immigration Custom Enforcement. So, and they are targeting the Bay Area. It seems they're really kind of after the Bay Area. So I just wanted to let people know, if you have to take precautions, go ahead, do that, and if you have family to advise and everything, because what they're planning to do, they're planning to round up a lot of businesses and pick up people, and their goal is ultimately to at least pick up around 3,000 people, or 1,500, 3,000 people. So that means anybody who has something at stake, or their case is not properly filed, etc., they are at risk. So I recommend that you make sure that if you have a family member or yourself, that you have an attorney pretty much kind of standby, etc., to help. So the weekend, they say, is going to be a tough one for many people. So get ready for that, and hopefully I will be. It won't happen. It's a rumor again, but it doesn't seem it's a full rumor, because we are seeing a crackdown, and I don't know, for those who follow, I myself have seen some stuff on Facebook which I don't know how true it is. 2 people have been deported. There's people have been here for 30 years, and they are being deported because their case is in final order of deportation. So they're not really letting anybody get a chance. So be ready. If you feel like your situation is not conform, make sure that you talk to an attorney. Just don't sit on your rights. And sometimes people don't know until you talk to an attorney. For example, when I do a consultation, people will call me for H-1B, but I end up by getting an EB-1 for them, or even seeing that they have a potential for U visa or something else. So it is important that that you actually kind of make sure that you get this situation covered, and do a good consultation before you just make a decision on your case. So I recommend to people that they talk to an attorney, and they can call our office for a consultation at 510-742-5887, 510-742-5887. Since Amit is not there, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about debt settlement, because this is something we get a lot, but a lot of people don't even know how it works. Debt settlement is a concept of negotiation. That's all. How you negotiate it depends how strong you are in negotiating. Because people tend to think, okay, I can negotiate that myself, and yes, you can. But the truth is that many times you might end up by hurting you more than helping yourself. Because one of the things that they will do is they start talking to you if you owe a debt. They're going to start digging in your finances. They're going to start digging how you can pay for things. And once they start doing that, without even you realizing, then they won't give you a deal. If they know you have money, you have equities, you have assets, etc., there's no way you're going to get a deal with them. However, if you hire us, for example, on certain cases, we do things differently. We will only give them information that is required. Sometimes we do disclose everything, but there's a reason why we do it, and we do it at our pace. And remember, there's a maxim of law when it comes to pretty much in America. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you, and you have a right to an attorney. So it's not applicable to that, but it's just a maxim. This is what we call the Miranda rules, and I have Franco with me, so they call it the Miranda rule, right? That's kind of an irony, but this is not really the point. The point I was making is just basically that based on that same concept, the reason they say you have a right to remain silent, because people tend to talk, and once you start talking, a lot of things you say will be used against you, and many of the things that you say while you are being emotional can really hurt you, unfortunately, because the way it's twisted in court, the way it's twisted when they're fighting you, it's not going to be helpful. So that's one of the reasons we recommend to have an attorney by your side, especially if the debt is kind of high. If it is a small debt, you can negotiate on your own. But what we'll do here will become basically the buffer. And now if you are also being harassed by creditors, for example, we can block that too, because we can send a cease and desist letter to basically kind of cut them off. But sometimes we don't want to do that because it's kind of rude. But sometimes we have to do it. We don't have a choice. So it's more a case by case basis when we do that. And again, if you want us to assess the case, give us a call at 510-742-5887. And what we're talking here is debt settlement. And you can check the blog, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com, yourdebtsettlementattorney.com to get more information. So now, ladies and gentlemen, since I'm almost, I think I'm going to wrap up today because I don't see Amit there. I'm going to talk a little bit more about EB1 now, because since I started it, what is an EB1? A lot of people think one of the biggest mistakes that they make is EB1. You have to meet a very what they believe in a specific criteria to be in the EB1. What is required is not a specific. What is required is like you have brought an outstanding contribution, kind of. And we have a very good YouTube video from Sharif, who works with our office, and he handles pretty much all that EB1 right now because we're getting so many. We had to create a department for it. He covers that topic of explaining that, you don't have to even have publications sometimes. We can get you an EB1. So people get confused. I myself used to believe this way, but now doing so many cases where we have been able to combine things, and this is where EB1 is very different from other visas, especially EB1A. EB1, there are three categories, by the way. EB1A for people who are extraordinary abilities, EB1B are outstanding professors and scientists, and EB1C for intra-transferees, employees, executive, and managers, right? So mostly we're talking about EB1A here. The advantage of filing EB1A if you qualify is that you don't need an employer to file this. And that's a big advantage because right now to find an employer to help you is very difficult. And that's why a lot of people are really moving to EB1A. The second good things with EB1A is, especially if you're born in India, there's no waiting time. And that's a huge advantage, right? And that's where we are really kind of being successful in getting those cases done. And I wanted to congratulate the team for basically we are getting cases on a daily basis when it comes to EB1A. And I'm very proud of the team for working and really kind of consistent with working on the EB1A. And if you want us to assess your case on EB1A or EB1B or even EB1C, feel free to call us 510-742-5887. And you can also check our website, attorneyonair.com or piralilaw.com. You can read a little bit about EB1A. And also you can read some of the reviews we got in the EB1A. And now for the EB1B, it's a little bit less, the threshold is less, but ultimately you are dependent on an employer. You need the company to employ you, usually in R&D and things like that. Now, of course, for EB1C, these are for intra-transferees. What you need basically is, number one, you have to have you have to have a qualifying relationship between a company which is here in the U.S. and another one which is abroad. The qualifying relationship is usually as a branch, an affiliate, or a subsidiary. And I don't have the details right now because I'm short of time, but we can always assess if your company does have this qualifying relationship. That's number one. Number two, your employee has to have worked in the past 3 years for 1 year for your company, your employee or even the executive. And number three, that person has to be in a managerial role or an executive capacity. And all this is just the basic. Now, proving that is a different story. Okay, a lot of people get confused. They think, oh, I don't have enough people, or I don't need that many people. So this is where we come in, and we can really kind of balance things out. And I wanted to again thank the team for basically kind of getting another approval of EB1C also, I think last week or the week before that, if I'm not mistaken. So I just wanted to let you know that we can really help you on pretty much all the areas of immigration. And also for those people who don't know, sometimes EB1 is one option to get out of this, but also some people, unfortunately they are victims of certain crimes, and they are eligible for visas like a U visa. U visa for people who have been victims of a crime. For example, you have been assaulted with a deadly weapon. You are victims of a domestic violence, etc., etc., and the police got involved, and you have a police report, and ultimately the police or the DA is willing to sign on the form, we can get you what we call a U visa. A U visa is an amazing thing. Number one, the U visa can be obtained even if you're out of status. And number two, once the U visa is obtained, which now unfortunately takes 3 to 5 years, you can also, after you get it, you can file for your green card after 3 years on the U visa. So all these are to your advantage. You should take advantage. And unfortunately, unless you talk to a lawyer who understands all those aspects, they will only look at one aspect and they will forget the other aspect. And that's one thing a lot of people like with our law firm. We don't only look at one aspect, right? So if you come to me for an H-1B, for example, I will still look at all the other options for you before I let you go just on the H-1B. So it's the way it works, and unless you know it pretty much kind of all the avenues, it's very hard to really advise people. But luckily, we have been doing that for almost 15 years now, so we are good so far, touch wood, and thanks to God, we have been doing a job which is very to the satisfaction. It's not perfect because we're not perfect, but at least we try our best to come close. So I'm almost done with the show today, and I have Franco with me, and I wanted to thank you all for being good listeners. This is our first month of the year, and things are getting rough, and a lot of people are really suffering right now and scared. Deportation is running high, but at the same time, the way immigrants are being treated is very unfair, and that's one thing which is the worst. And we know what the president said about the names, how he will name some countries. I'm from an African country, so I'm very offended. And but the truth is that I didn't come from where he's saying. Our countries are beautiful. We have good chance. We had an opportunity, but they have to also look at the world. So Americans go in other countries and they do work. They do, in fact, take whatever they want. So when people come in this country, they do work, and they work hard. So they should get a chance to make it. They cannot just make it like, oh, everybody's coming here to take a piece of America. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Anything I told you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. Thank you, Franco. Thank you, KLAK. We'll be back next week, 10 to 11. Bye-bye.